What should a man do if he falls in love with a married woman or even finds himself in a relationship with her? There are four possible scenarios in which this situation can unfold, each with its own progression and inevitable conclusion. Today, I'll explain each one. But first, let's establish something. Your case is not an exception. Everything I'm about to say isn't just speculation. It's based on real-life stories from people who have lived through it. First, let's make one thing clear. An affair is never about deep love. It's not a random mistake. Infidelity is a behavior that someone develops over time. Many men hold on to the illusion that the woman gave in to temptation because she truly loves them, because they are special, or because they were meant to meet sooner. They believe their love is something worth fighting for. However, the harsh truth is that she has been cultivating the ability to cheat for a long time. This pattern always follows the same steps. It starts with a woman feeling unhappy in her marriage. Perhaps she never truly loved her husband. Then she begins noticing other men. Over time, she becomes more flirtatious, seeks attention, and starts entertaining the idea of being with someone else. Only after years of this mindset does she finally meet you. And here's something important. You might not be the first, but she will never tell you that. Many men hear the same story. I have never cheated before. But that's simply not true. The first type of situation occurs when a woman is merely looking for short-term excitement. She might appear charming, confident, and seductive, even initiating the relationship herself. She creates the illusion of being the perfect wife and mother, making the man believe that her husband doesn't appreciate her. He starts thinking, if I were in his place, I would treat her better. But the reality is that she has no serious intentions. She wants a casual, thrilling experience, nothing more. These types of affairs tend to end quickly, though not always. This is the most common situation. A woman deliberately creates the illusion of love. She begins by allowing herself to fall for someone new, then subtly manipulates the entire relationship. Imagine holding a wet towel, and over time, you start twisting and squeezing it. That's exactly what she does. At first, everything seems passionate and exciting. She thrives on the secrecy, the drama, the emotional intensity. To the man, she appears more devoted than anyone in his life ever has. But is it real? Unfortunately, no. As time passes, she begins changing the narrative. She suddenly starts doubting whether they should be together. She expresses feelings of guilt, says their meetings are wrong, and creates unnecessary obstacles. This isn't real regret. It's a calculated act. The man, blinded by emotions, believes she is genuinely torn. He thinks, she's such a good woman. The only thing standing in our way is her husband. He convinces himself that if he can just be patient, she will eventually choose him. But then she starts acting unpredictably. One day she wants to end things. The next, she says she loves him. She talks about needing a break, yet insists she can't live without him. If the man is already married, she subtly pressures him to leave his wife, planting the idea in his head. But here's the catch. If he actually does leave his wife, everything changes. Suddenly, she pulls away. In some cases, the woman will leave her husband, but only halfway. She maintains a connection with him, claiming they are merely roommates, that their relationship ended long ago, and that they only stay together because of practical reasons like finances or children. The man doesn't question it at first, but over time, he begins to feel uneasy. He notices that, despite being with him, she never truly lets go of her husband. He rationalizes it, thinking, she just needs time. But the truth is, she has no intention of leaving her husband completely. She benefits from having both men in her life, each serving a different role. Most men fail to recognize one fundamental truth. A woman who betrays her husband without remorse will betray anyone. She prioritizes her own desires above morals, family, and loyalty. Yet many men, blinded by passion, ignore the warning signs. They start competing with the husband, feeling jealous and desperately trying to win her over. But this only shifts the power in her favor. The moment he becomes too emotionally involved, she loses interest. Now let's assume she does fully leave her husband and commits to a new relationship. It may seem like a victory, but it's anything but. For a woman like this, the thrill of secrecy and forbidden love is more exciting than stability. Once the affair turns into a normal relationship, the excitement disappears. As time passes, the relationship deteriorates and history repeats itself. Only now the new man is the one being betrayed. From experience, I can tell you this. Whenever I've seen a woman leave her husband for another man, the story always ends the same way. Without exception, she eventually moves on to someone else. This is because the pattern of infidelity doesn't stop. It only intensifies. Once someone becomes comfortable with deception, they don't suddenly become loyal. A man hoping to change such a woman is chasing an illusion. Many men find themselves trapped in an emotional downward spiral, unable to think about anyone else. They forget about their own wives, their families, their values, all for the sake of a woman who will never truly commit. They mistake this obsession for love, but in reality, it's self-destruction. It's like standing at the top of an icy hill. The moment you take one step forward, you start sliding down uncontrollably, and stopping becomes nearly impossible. And at the bottom, only pain and regret. Can a man escape this trap? Yes, but it requires action. The only way to regain control is to cut off all contact. The pain you feel now isn't meant to destroy you. It's meant to wake you up. It's a signal to turn your life around before it's too late. And make no mistake, if you try to walk away, she will try to pull you back in. She'll send messages, reach out, and create situations where you accidentally cross paths. But this isn't love, it's manipulation. If you are married and your wife is still willing to take you back after everything, you should recognize the value of that. A loyal, forgiving partner is rare. Don't make the mistake of ignoring what truly matters. Even if reconciliation isn't an option, the first step to recovery is self-discipline. Take time away from relationships. Listen to experts talk about how to break free from emotional addiction. Educate yourself about the dangers of giving in to destructive desires. And most importantly, don't allow yourself to be fooled again.